I just realized that we don't have a actual intro for these bonus episodes.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
We could start it out like this.
You know what?
Oh, that's loud.
Oh,
That's Mortal Kombat.
I was
going to
say that was some Mortal Kombat. What's it called again? What's that art called? That trade?
Video games? Wait,
no.
What do you mean?
No, that thing I sent you the other day, like specifically.
Oh, Foley?
Foley.
Yeah.
Weird name for that.
Yeah.
That was a good Foley right there.
That's some good
That was
Foley.
some jaw-ripping Foley right there.
NetherRealm Studios should follow up with you on that one. There you go. There's another one. Pretty solid.
I got liquid death all over my face.
Yeah, that's a hefty can. I guess careful putting it down on the table. Sorry about that, folks. Welcome to bonus episode 1 of the Monolith film cast. Our first official. I know we did like a test one that was episode 0 technically, but this is bonus episode number 1, unlocked this week, so that folks have a chance to see what some of the Patreon content. Is it Patreon? I don't know. Patreon, but they're patrons if they subscribe. Well, whatever.
No flavor to that, is there?
No, it's literally just sparkling water.
I know.
It's straight from the Alps.
I always heard that, but I just thought maybe there'd be a little something in there. A little cran, maybe.
They do
a
have
little cran raspberry.
flavored ones,
Yeah.
but I went with just water.
Tarnished gold.
Oh, that's a good way to look at it.
Not bad, huh?
Now give it another shot. Plus 14 faith.
Not my build.
No.
Not my build, but that's fine.
No. Anyways, welcome to episode 1. This one is unlocked. Bonus episode. Next bonus episode will not be unlocked. It will be locked behind the paywall. Sorry, folks. Sorry, we had to do it.
This is I think this is a good. I mean, we're just barely getting into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of this content is like, we're trying to put our best foot forward with everything. No, that's fine.
Okay.
So, if you guys like this kind of stuff, let us know. Obviously, we're very receptive to the feedback. We're very new to this. So, let us know.
And for this bonus episode today, where we did a full-length episode where we talked Batman. Spoiler free.
Right.
But this one, folks, this is just for the boys and the gals and the NBs who saw Batman opening weekend.
And they're ready to get into the juicy, juicy deets.
Right, exactly.
And so... Are we ready to go right now?
We're rolling.
All right,
we can
here
do
we
whatever
go,
we want to do.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're getting the Batman spoilers for you now.
Right.
You're telling me Joaquin Phoenix is gonna bust in the last scene of this movie and say, "Well, howdy, Widow Brucey."
I didn't mind that part. I just didn't like when he said, "The joke is on you." And then he jumped on top of him, and it was like.
But his delivery was really good.
It was. I mean, he's Joaquin.
It's Joaquin Phoenix.
Right. No, that didn't happen. But
give me your best Joaquin Phoenix Joker impression.
Okay, let me think of a.
Hey, Brucey.
Yeah, I can't even think of it. Like
he has like a really breathy
movie.
voice, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. He just doesn't. I don't really like that movie.
You wouldn't get it.
I can just think of the part where he says like a bad joke, and then he's like. He's like covering his mouth.
There's good moments in that movie, but the overall movie, I don't care for that movie.
It's just fine, yeah.
But yeah, that's stand up. But anyway, we're talking about the Batman.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're talking about Joker. That was my fault, actually. That's why we're talking about it.
The Batman 2022 spoiler review. Now, I don't even know how to really give this the review is the same. It's still good with some problems riddled throughout, in my mind.
Riddled.
In my mind.
Clever.
See, now I have been having a lot more people on my not my sphere of influence, but like my Letterboxd, the people I follow on Letterboxd
circle.
Yeah, the people I follow on Letterboxd and the people that I have talked about outside of you about this movie. I've got quite a few people who have some issues with this movie.
That's interesting.
Not big issues.
It's not interesting. That makes sense.
Yeah, but so I'm going to be coming from this for the spoiler episode. I'm going to be coming from that pretty hard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very combative. Well, not combative. Very counter.
Yeah.
Counterpoint.
Guard counter. Exactly.
Well, all of it's perfect, so I don't know where you're going to start.
Well, let me think of the first not perfect thing. We talked about it a bit before we started.
Well, I'd like to start, because you brought up something last week that I was actually pretty surprised by. You don't care for Carmine Falcone in this movie.
Or Commissioner Gordon. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Not Commissioner Gordon. I'm so sorry.
Holy shit. Alfred?
Alfred, yeah.
Tell me why.
Falcone, that's his name, right?
Falcone.
Well, first of all, I don't really know the character to the Batman storyline that well. Like, I don't the lore of that. I'm kind of like on, and it's just very uninteresting when there's like when there's the villains that are in the world. I just don't care about that. Like, it just seems like a like a regular bad guy. You know what I mean?
I actually can agree. I actually do agree with that. Because my whole thing, when I first saw Falcone, I was like, oh, great. But how he actually ended up like panning out throughout the story, and when he was interacting with Bruce and when he was interacting with Selina, I was like, that's actually pretty cool. I like that.
See, I think that just my whole issue with the story is I really don't care about what's Bruce Wayne's dad's name?
Thomas Wayne?
Yeah, I don't care about Thomas Wayne at all. Like, I care about Batman being sad about his dad dying, right? And I did not, I just didn't care about, like, first of all, Falcone just straight up tells him, like, yeah, I murdered that guy. And
I did kill that man.
I did do that. Yeah, I did that, Brucey. I was waiting any day for you to come.
You know what else?
That was ridiculous. But
I want to circle back to that point, but there is something really funny that just reminded me of that. There are some exceptionally goofy things that is going on in like the media in this movie.
Yeah,
like
nonsense.
There's a part where like we just got a leaked phone call.
Sorry, Bruce from Sports.
News.
We're gonna have to cut back to the newsroom. We just got a video of a man being killed with rats. We're gonna go ahead and play that whole live video. Audience, go ahead and
not even
turn
that,
it up the volume.
but like we just got breaking news. We just got a live recording of Falcone strangling a woman to death. It's quite disturbing. And then also when it showed, they have these little graphics where it says like Annika, whatever, I don't even think it just says like victim under her, and then under Falcone it just says crime boss. Like that's his occupation. Everybody knows his job as a crime boss.
It's also just hilarious. That video doesn't make sense because Catwoman says that she left her a voicemail, and I'm like, what? What do you mean she left you a voicemail? It's like long voicemail for her to just like, how long was it recording? Then he walks in, he's like, Russian girl, huh? And she's like, no, please don't. And he's like, well, I'm Falcone, and I killed this man, and now I will kill you. And starts choking her to death.
It's okay.
It's okay.
You know, one thing I
can't wait to choke my own daughter this way.
Oh my god.
That's Falcone, not me saying that. That's Falcone.
Well, you don't have a daughter, so that makes sense.
Right, exactly. So. But no, that's what I mean. That whole. Well, let me finish the.
A lot of conveniences in the story for sure.
Yeah, and then to finish that point about Thomas Wayne and everything, to bring him back to that.
Oh right.
Okay, so the plot twist about Thomas Wayne was actually kind of a bad guy. Makes total sense to me, and they should have kept that. So then for them to go back to the hospital, and Alfred is like, Bruce, he was a good man, and he was like, he didn't mean to. That's my Alfred impression.
Like it.
He's pained. He's pained.
Didn't even do fucking Irish accent.
Like, Batman. That's supposed to be Gollum, but that wasn't very good either. Anyways, because he's Gollum, isn't he?
Oh, Andy Serkis.
Yeah,
you're right.
Anyways,
good actor.
He tells him in the hospital, no, he was a good guy, and yeah, he got that guy killed, but like he didn't mean to do that. And I was just like, I don't care about that. Fuck that guy.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fair. Especially coming from the perspective of like, yeah, he's just a rich asshole, right?
And it's just not that interesting to me. Batman's crux of him being Batman, being that his parents were murdered in front of him, is enough. I don't need him to have this internal dilemma about whether his father was a good person. It's the same thing with his mom was actually like in like insane asylums growing up.
Arkham.
I'm kind of like, oh, like, okay, cool. She was in Arkham. That's interesting, I guess. But
Martha is in Arkham.
She's there right now?
No, sorry. Arkham is a family name in Gotham.
Right.
Martha Arkham was her.
Oh, it's her maiden name.
Maiden name.
Gotcha. Regardless, I don't understand why that being compared to his dad getting someone killed was already like,
right.
That's not really the same thing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't really need that for him to have this internal struggle. I don't know. It wasn't bad per se. I just didn't care for it.
I definitely appreciate all that entire perspective, but let me bring up why I found.
Yeah, we turn this down just a hair. There we go. That's better. Good? Yeah. Okay.
Let me bring up why I was really excited, because the Waynes and the Arkhams, as far as like a fan perspective of just like all the other storylines that they're a part of, I was glad they were adding so much of that, because there's so much room there for them to like in one storyline, like the Waynes and the Arkhams were like the founding members of Court of Owls.
Okay,
that's fucking cool. Yeah, so I like that stuff. I like hearing about I don't care specifically about Thomas Wayne.
Right.
I just like hearing about Waynes and the Arkhams in the overall like Gotham lore.
Yeah,
I'm interested in that stuff.
I do agree to that point. I agree to the point that it serves to like the greater lore and hints at maybe Court of Owls stuff in the future or whatever. Right. I just don't care about it in terms of how it affects Batman's character arc of who he believes his father was. Like him being Batman because he wants to continue the legacy was kind of weird because I didn't really get that. I was like, huh? But okay, whatever. Not a big deal. I was just kind of like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just did not care for. And Alfred, that's like the only part I like with Alfred is with the cufflinks.
Oh, that's a good part.
And even then, he's dick riding Thomas Wayne a little too much.
See, my thing as far as the relationship between Alfred and Thomas Wayne, I like that part of it because that's such a strong connector with Bruce. Like,
you're right.
Alfred is literally the only person who is still alive and knew his father on like a very personal level.
That's fair.
So I like that aspect to it.
Mm-hmm.
So when that stuff comes up, I just like it because of what that means for Bruce and Alfred's relationship. But to be fair, not a whole lot of Alfred in this movie.
No, not
very little actually. Little. Yeah, like, well, I mean, he's in it, you know.
He gets blown up halfway through. That was another good point. Shout out to Chaz. He was the one that brought it up. He was like, this movie just has there's a lot of suspension of disbelief, but then there's also just a lot of dumb shit for no reason. And I kind of agree. Like, point one being, Alfred knows he's Batman. And he's been Batman for at least 2 years. And Alfred knows that. Mm-hmm. Why would he ever fucking open a package that says, for Batman's eyes only, or for Bruce Wayne's, you know what I mean? Like, why would he do that?
Especially in Riddler's script.
Right. It's like, why would he ever do that? Same thing with Batman having that bomb go off right in his fucking face.
Oh, yeah, that happens a couple times where I'm like, yeah.
I'm like, okay.
It's one thing with the bullets, but we gotta figure, it'd be one thing if he, like, pushed him away at least, and he was, like, even 6 feet away. He is in his face.
Yeah, I'm like, well, it killed that guy.
Like, the bomb is less than a foot away from his chin.
And it's like, it blew that guy's face off.
Yeah.
Killed him.
Yeah.
Didn't even give Batman a scratch or anything.
Yeah. I mean, he passed out for a while, but then when he woke up, seemed to be no injuries there.
Which, another nitpick there that Callista brought up was, like, he's really lucky no one took off his mask until he woke up. And then I also thought it was funny that cop was fighting for his life to take off Batman's mask.
Take that shit off, dude.
And then they're like, no. And he's like, let me out. Then he brought up another good point. I do disagree slightly with this one, but I want you to hear it because I want to hear your defense of it. Okay. I do disagree. He just hates the design of Batman. Not in this movie, but just in general. He's like, why does he wear a cape? That's so stupid. And I only agree with that. He doesn't like the ears, but I'm like, well, that's iconic. Cool. You gotta have the ears.
Yeah,
you gotta have the ears. And I'll defend the cape as well, but I do agree. In this movie, it makes less sense because
he actually gets grabbed by his cape at one point.
He gets grabbed by it?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool.
Well, it's if anything, it's kind of
it's
a point
for that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
it's
true.
like, well, that's not very strategic, is it?
I just mean it's cool that like they showed that as like a flaw in that design.
Yeah.
But like, at least Christian Bale's Batman, his cape was the thing that helped him fly. But it would get hard or whatever.
It's the same thing here, though.
No, I thought it was like a whole fucking new wingsuit that bumped out.
It's his cape, though. That is the wingsuit.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
He like wraps it in front of himself, then zips it up, and then it like shrinks to his body or something. Oh. So it's still his glider.
Okay, that's kind of okay.
Yeah, but there's definitely there's definitely a conversation we had about how tactical it actually is, other than it just looking cool. Like, it would have been really cool if he like fucking threw it in somebody's face and like stunned him or something.
Ooh, speaking of throwing capes in people's faces, I can't wait to see this new Spawn movie that's been in development for like 8 years.
Oh baby.
Because Spawn does fight with that cape.
Yeah, he do. That cape is alive, baby.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a Doctor Strange cape, basically.
Yep.
I hope that movie's good.
I hope so too.
Anyways, back to Batman. Okay.
Spawn and Batman had a comic
They did.
crossover.
I have that. You know what's even cooler than that is in Spawn Spawn issue, like, I think 12. It's pretty early on in the run of Spawn comics.
Yeah.
It might be a little higher than that, maybe 30 something. Anyways, in that issue, like, he's normal there, and then the next issue of Spawn, he just has this like horrible scar down his face that he stitches shut with a shoelace.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
Yeah, and they just never explain that. But if you read the Batman Spawn crossover,
it's from
a
the Batarang.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And it stays like that for a while too. And I'm like, that's just so cool.
That's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
A shoelace? I don't think that would work.
No, I mean, he's all rotten and nasty anyways.
That's got to be a real thin shoelace.
No, it's a thickums shoelace too.
Whatever. It's
and then
cool.
like you
it's
just
even
shoving the
way.
eyelet through your, just like,
ow. Fuck.
I mean, he's all messed up already anyways.
Yeah, you probably can't feel anything on that burnt ass skin.
Exactly. But no, Spawn's cool.
Spawn's very cool.
Go ahead.
There's a giant elephant in the room we haven't addressed, Isaac.
Let's hear it.
Barry Keoghan's the Joker.
Yes, he
That
is.
was the meme, dude. We made jokes about that. I made jokes. I was gonna be like, yeah, it's gonna be so funny when Barry Keoghan comes out and he's the Joker, baby. That's his first line. He's the fucking Joker, baby.
He's the Joker, yeah. How do you feel about that?
It's cool on one hand because I trust Matt Reeves and I trust Barry Keoghan. Overall, the last thing I need from a Batman universe right now is Joker.
I 1,000,000% agree. I think that's the only, it's cool. I'm like, Barry Keoghan is Joker. That's a cool casting choice.
Yeah.
It feels like, okay, well, I thought the whole point of this was to be exploring these other
get away
things.
from that. Well, I did see one. I don't know if it was from an interview with Matt Reeves or if it was just something that somebody said Matt Reeves said. So it's either confirmed or it's not. So, take it with a grain of salt. But I read that since Joker's in Arkham, that's got to mean that him and Batman have already fought.
Maybe.
And that they've already been adversaries. And there apparently is a deleted scene that, this is true for sure. Matt Reeves said there's a deleted scene between Joker and Batman where he's having him try to figure out Riddler's clues and stuff like that. So if they completely change the role of Joker in whatever this saga of Batman movies are going to be, that could be really interesting. If he literally is like
if we never actually see what their story was, he's just already in Arkham.
We could allude to it. That could be interesting. And if, there's some way they could incorporate some kind of interesting story there maybe. But as far as the mainline movie goes, it could be really cool to see Joker actually just be somebody who's just still in Arkham that Batman consults with sometimes or something like that.
Yeah, that would actually be really cool.
Another thing I think would fit really well in this universe, and there's already kind of a lot of things going on by the end of this movie, like Gotham is flooded. I think it's going to be a really big thing if they make a sequel. Cool. Which they probably will. But
they will for sure do the sequel because it's breaking. It's like only the second movie in the entire pandemic of releases to reach $100 million its opening weekend. I think it made $150 million opening weekend.
Damn, that's awesome.
So they're for sure making a sequel.
Yeah, they got it right.
Yeah, they've got it.
But so there's a couple different things. I don't know if you watched the Variety thing that Ethan sent. It's just the cast of the Batman talking about film theories they're reading and stuff like that. And Robert Pattinson said, "I thought Court of Owls was going to be the next movie." Motherfucker. He just said that, and everybody was like, "Did you just say that?" Paul Dano was like, "I wouldn't have said that, but whatever." And they just left it in. So I don't know if that's true or what. There's that. I think what could be really cool is Joker's in Arkham, Riddler's in Arkham. Who else is in Arkham? Arkham Asylum.
Yeah,
do the Arkham story. That could be really cool.
I did see another thing today too that I was gonna click on it, and then I got sidetracked with work, and then and there's apparently going to be a spinoff, but I don't know if they were saying from this Batman that's a horror show set in Arkham.
No, that could be really cool.
Yeah.
Because if Joker's already in there, and instead of the regular Joker stories we've gotten in media, like an Arkham Asylum type.
Well, I also forgot
that could be really cool.
And I forgot we're also getting the Penguin spinoff show.
Yeah, Penguin spinoff show, which don't really know the timeline on that. Could be totally before this movie. I don't know if we talked about it already, but I thought that maybe that show would be about Penguin rising to power during the flood. Now that Falcone's gone,
that's kind of cool. See, how do you feel about a lot of these little spinoff shows? I didn't watch 1 second of Peacemaker.
I've heard Peacemaker's really good though.
Yeah,
so
me
I can't.
Too,
I haven't seen it.
And I did like the movie.
Yeah, I really like the movie too. I mean, if they're good, that's fine. It's just I feel like we're a couple years out from this spin-off TV show from movie thing, right. And there's not really consistent results anywhere. Sometimes they're fine, sometimes they're fucking bad, and sometimes they're really interesting.
Yeah, and I do have fatigue for some of it, for sure.
Definitely. Mostly the Marvel stuff.
And Star Wars, too.
Yeah, even Star Wars is a good example, too. Mandalorian Season 1, I don't care for it that much. Season 2, I really liked.
And then Season 2, I liked most of it, and then I haven't watched a second of Boba Fett either. And I've heard that it's bad. Well, I've heard mixed things, but mostly bad things.
It's also just in my opinion, personally, I've yet to find a show that I'm like just so interested in that universe that I want to watch that much of it. Like Peacemaker is honestly the one that's come the closest.
And have you watched it yet or no?
I haven't.
Yeah.
I've planned on it, but I'm also just fucking playing Elden Ring every free minute I have.
It's true.
So
It's true. I finally fucking started reading my book again for the first time since Elden Ring came out. And I was like,
was that hard?
It wasn't like I turned off Elden Ring to go read. I wouldn't have been playing Elden Ring at the time, but usually now I'm just up later playing Elden Ring, so I'm like, well, I'm not going to read anymore.
I've been doing the same thing really bad. Like last night, I was like, all right, it's like 10:30. I should probably, start
Get some snooze.
doing some bed stuff, and then I went to bed at 1.
Ugh. See, that's why my PlayStation's not in my bedroom.
Yeah, that also makes it harder.
That helps
for sure.
But
and I have, anyways.
So anyways, back to Batman.
Back to Batman.
Yeah. So yeah, Barry Keoghan is Joker. I exactly, I agree. It's cool, but I don't want that to be. But if it's like what you're saying, because what's that comic line where it starts with Batman talking to him in Arkham Asylum? Is that Killing Joke?
Yeah, it is Killing Joke.
Like something like that or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I'm kind of cool with that.
Yeah.
And that would be really cool. Mostly just because I don't. Another good point is like Riddler. It was scary, but he already destroyed Gotham's entire infrastructure.
Yeah, and also really made Batman look like a fool.
Right. And so it's like, okay, well, what the hell is this next villain gonna do?
That's a good point. I mean, I for one am very ready to like see a Batman villain that's not like, no, I'm crazy.
I'm mad. I'm a madman.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
well, plus, we know he has fought some people already. One that I think he has fought already is Bane.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, because of that toxin, huh?
There's that green goop. That green goop that he jabs into himself towards the end of the movie. I think that's Bane juice,
You
baby.
think that's Bane juice?
Yeah.
I've seen quite a lot of discourse about the subject.
Really? Let's hear it.
I mean, it's mostly people being like, that's fucking Bane juice. And people being like, it's just adrenaline. And that's pretty much the whole discourse.
That's, okay, the people that are saying it's just adrenaline. It's just neon green adrenaline.
That's a good point. It is toxic lime green.
What do you mean it's just adrenaline?
Yeah.
That's an annoying thing to be like a authority figure on.
In the Batman universe, he's not using the super soldier serum that Bane uses. It's just adrenaline.
It's just a vial of blood entry adrenaline. Hello? That's annoying.
There's also, because I looked this up too, because I was like, damn, it might be. So I wanted to like look up some stuff about it. There is a whole comic line about Bruce being addicted to toxin.
See, that's cool.
And that's cool. Fucking scary. Like the comic front is just Batman's like cowl and face, but his mouth is just like fucking so angry.
God, when the next Batman movie opens with there's something in the way, and he's a toxin addict.
Oh my God.
Maybe funny,
that's not going to be hilarious.
It won't be hilarious, but I just wouldn't be surprised to see. Well, I would be surprised. I shouldn't say wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, a lot of directions this new movie could go, but yeah, to talk more about the first movie, a lot of characters being jumped around. You know what I actually am pretty surprised by also? Surprised Catwoman doesn't have like an official spinoff planned. Yeah,
but I'm kind of okay with that because I'm kind of wondering what that means for these two.
Yeah.
You know, like Catwoman and Batman. What do you think about the love story in this movie?
I guess it's fine. I don't have any super positive.
I love it.
You love it?
I do.
Wow.
I think I just like the look of them.
Yeah, no, they're both fucking beautiful people.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. And like I really like the parts where like she's having him go, or he's having her go into the club and she's got the contact on and they're like communicating and stuff.
I did like that part too. I just don't like. I mean, I do like that Catwoman in this movie is not like. Bats, like, oh, you know what I mean? She's not such a flirt. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, she's not like, just because I feel like every other version of Catwoman is like this, like
literally shaking her ass in his face,
and is like supposed to be like a snaky woman. Like, you know what I mean? I just don't like that. Like, they're just like, oh, you thought you got me? Yeah. Like, I just feel, I like that this Catwoman is just a way more realistic. I don't know. I do really like the part at the end where they kiss or whatever, and then they're riding their motorcycles together, kind of racing.
That was cool.
And then they split up. I was like, that's actually kind of sad. That's kind of fucked up. They just playing sad. Little bat and cat.
Yeah. A little cat and a rat with wings.
El Rata de Elada.
I will say some of the mystery in this movie, I like it still, but I'm like, Come on.
Yeah. No.
URL. URL Rada Alada.
I just also.
He meant URL like a website.
URL. Oh my god, I didn't get that until just now. Wow, yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
And there's just so much that I just don't like. Okay, the Riddler loves riddles. Half of these things aren't really riddles.
Yeah, not really. It's really like a lot of these are also like there's like several ways to interpret what he means. Like even for me, the thing I was getting, especially in the first watch, I was like, am I stupid or are these characters stupid right now? Right. Especially with the rat with wings thing. So I was like,
that's a bat.
That's a bat. And,
right.
and like he's like, huh.
A
penguin's a bird.
And then
like, what?
I was also like, why do they keep saying a carrier pigeon?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. And like, yeah, like a penguin is also a rat, I guess.
And then also what they finally land on is like a falcon's also a bird. And I'm like, that's fucking stupid. That's definitely not gonna be the solution. I guess it was.
Kind of.
Because that's who the rat was, technically, was Falcone. Falcon.
Yeah, that's just...
I like to think Riddler's like, how do I want them to know the rat is Falcone, which I know. Nobody else knows. But
yeah, that's the other thing is, how does Riddler know any of this?
And he's like, I'm going to write El Rata Alada.
Also, why would... I don't understand the purpose of bringing the rat, quote unquote, the rat Falcone forward, because it's like, well, yeah, he's a boss. He's a crime boss. He's a fucking mob boss. Of course he's corrupt.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I guess he was targeting multiple people, not just Falcone.
Yeah, that's
so
true, I guess.
That.
It was just funny when he was reading any other, like when he was doing the to the DA, the riddles to the DA, he's like, what do you need to admit in order to live? And then Batman's like, that you're corrupt. And he's like, that I'm corrupt. And he's like, correct. I'm like, that's not a riddle. You're just making it say things. Like, and also like the cards that he was making, I'm like, how are you making these cards?
Oh, I thought they were just greeting cards that he got at the store.
Yeah, but those greeting cards don't make sense because they're not like, it's your birthday. It's like...
Oh, there's one with an owl on it that everybody was like, what's that?
Yeah, exactly. So, like I said, these are all nitpicky things. They don't bring the movie down,
but
there is
a
lot of silly stuff.
Yeah,
Lots
there's
of
still...
silliness.
I do like some of the nuances. Like, I mean, it's more so to do with character stuff, like I already talked about. Like, I love how technology works here. Oh, another thing I wanted to bring up. Lots of fucking world building in this movie, which I definitely appreciate, but, like, drops are, like, a whole thing in this world that they really want you to know about.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Drops, the drugs.
Oh, yes.
And, like, going so far as, like, seeing a group and they're like, nah, those are drop heads.
Yeah,
start dropping when I'm 12. Like, it's a very, like,
yeah,
this is the drug of Gotham.
Is that in the comics?
I'm not familiar with them at all. I hadn't heard the term.
That guy at the beginning is dressed like a drop.
Oh, yeah. I figured that out, too, because I also saw a Twitter interaction of somebody who was like, oh, they said the store that guy was robbing is called Good Times, and in the outfit he's wearing is very much like a one that Robert Pattinson wears in one scene. I'm like, could be an homage, maybe.
That's kind of cool, yeah.
But then somebody was like, what the fuck is that mask? And they're like, is that like a pumpkin thing? He's like, I think it's supposed to be like a drop.
Yeah, that's like the logo of the drops, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's on all the packaging. Yeah,
I didn't catch that, but that makes sense.
We talked about
Scary design.
There was one thing that you said you wanted to bring up when I talked about Two-Face on the other episode.
I wanted to bring that up because 2 for 2 now, Lucas and I both initially were like, oh, Barry Keoghan's Two-Face because of how he looks.
Right, but he said clown.
Yeah, but he said clown, but I was like, okay. But then when I saw him, I was like, oh, that's Two-Face. That's what Two-Face looks like. And then I only realized it was Joker when he started laughing. So I was like,
right, yeah.
So that is Joker then? Like, I even had to confirm with you guys. So
yeah, I just
think that's interesting. No, it definitely is. But at first I was like,
Two-Face. I agree.
His face is just looking real gnarly.
Do we think that he's going to be all acid burned then?
Probably. That's what it looks like.
See,
his hair is going to be green?
I don't know. Here's what makes me nervous about his character design. None of the other character designs are bad in this movie.
They're great.
I can't imagine they're going to make him look bad, but I just keep imagining Barry Keoghan with this, like, wily green, like, afro hair.
I definitely don't think... afro?
Like a clown wig. I don't know.
Oh, like a clown wig? He's got a fucking... a nose.
Yeah, I don't know.
I definitely don't think they're going to do that. I mean, I think they're definitely going to do something different that they haven't done with the Joker design before. Like, I feel like a lot of them are just like, yeah, makeup and then like the shitty dyed green hair. And I think with this one, they're definitely going to be like, no, he has like a skin condition. He has like his skin.
But do you think he's going to look? Because the other thing too is those, like the thug group at the beginning or whatever, look like the Joker.
I want to ask you about that too. So I was like, are those like a certain villain's like henchmen, or are those just like
no?
kids
I think they're just
Halloween?
I think they're a street gang.
Oh, okay. And yeah, that also supports the theory that Joker's been in this world before too. Is that maybe these henchmen are like Joker purists?
They're like, okay, yeah. That's kind of cool. Interesting.
Maybe.
So then he's gonna look pretty similar to Heath Ledger.
You think so? Just in the sense of like based on those henchmen then?
Yeah, if they're supposed to look kind of like him.
Or maybe they're just trying to look like, scary clowns.
I don't know. We'll see. I just think...
I definitely think they intentionally didn't show too much of him because they're still like...
They probably have no idea.
They probably like, I want his face to be burnt. Yeah. That's all I know.
I'm just nervous. Like, remember the fucking Cletus Cassidy reveal at the end of Venom? And then thankfully they changed it, but it really didn't get much better. Oh. But that kind of hair, I'm really worried Barry Keoghan's going to have that.
Why are you worried about the hair? I don't think he's going to have that. I just
keep imagining Dave DeHaan in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, like... Okay, but... Like, I'm the Joker! But here... I can't get over it.
You scream like that at the end.
He's the Joker, I don't know.
He's like trying to convince somebody.
He's like, I am the Joker!
Yeah, no, you're not. You're so not.
I'm telling you.
But let me quell your worries really quick. Those movies do not have shit on this character design in this movie alone.
No, that's the other thing too, is the character. I think the burnt face throws me for a loop.
Yeah.
Because I don't associate that with Joker whatsoever.
Well, it could be like a chemically burned face. You know what else? Ethan brought this up, is like he could be that version of Joker that like cut his face off and then like stapled it back on.
That's kind of interesting.
It's real freaky looking.
I feel like the way I imagine he's going to look with the burns is going to be like the clown in that clown movie.
The Good Clown movie?
The one that we talked about on the podcast.
The Good Clown movie.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wasn't sure which clown movie you were referencing. I want to make sure I understood. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I don't think so.
Let's see. We'll see. I don't know.
Because that movie's really rocking with a significantly lower budget.
That's true.
So I would, look at if you're worried about prosthetics, like look at Penguin.
Yeah, that's true, and he looks really good.
He looks fucking amazing. So
maybe Barry Keoghan will be unrecognizable.
Maybe. I don't see Colin Farrell under that
penguin schnoz.
Penguin schnoz. I saw a tweet the other day. I don't know if I already told you this, but it was just so funny to me. Is that somebody was just talking about like every like line I think of from the like being delivered from the Penguin just gets funnier and funnier. Like there's a part where he's like, "No habla español, fellas."
I just like the part where they tie his feet up and he waddles like a penguin.
I definitely noticed that way more on the second watch.
He's like, wah, 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 wah. He's literally waddling like a penguin.
That's good. That's good stuff.
Oh, I do have another person's review said that they were like, this review it was okay, but the car chase scene gave me big Michael Bay cringy vibes, and I was like, what? I loved the car chase.
That's the worst take I've heard this year, fella.
Yeah, no, it was.
No, that car chase is probably the best we've had in any Batman movie. Dare I say it?
It was. Dude, the car is good. It's classic.
Dude, the car is amazing. And also, like, the tension of traffic in that scene is really cool.
Yeah.
One thing I will say about the scene for, like, a criticism with it is, like, several people died in that car crash.
Also, another good point, like, if I'm going to critique that scene, another good point that Chaz made was, like, Batman would just get him later.
Penguin?
Yeah. Like,
it's urgent. He might get away. He doesn't know where he's going to be later. He's on his tail right now. He's on his little penguin wings.
I don't like when Batman peep shows Catwoman either.
Yeah.
I was really hoping for a scene for him to see her in her underwear and be like, oh, like, all right, look away for a second. Yeah. Then maybe sneak a peek to see if she's dressed yet or not, and then be like, okay, wait, okay. But I didn't like that he just watched her get undressed through her window.
Yeah.
Watched her put on more clothes, and the whole time I was like,
You're being
a creep, dude. Yeah, what are you doing? And walks into her apartment.
At least he didn't keep it a secret, though. When he runs over, he's like, "Yeah, your friends seem really upset in your apartment when you're in there with her alone earlier."
It's like nice white underwear and white sports bra. I like that. Just like what? He's like, yeah, I saw the whole thing. Also, I hate when people have their blinds completely open in movies.
Oh yeah,
especially at nighttime.
Well, it's raining. You don't keep your blinds open when it's raining.
God no. If it's nighttime, those blinds are shut. God, the whole damn Valley of Magda would see my bare ass up in my bedroom window if I had my blinds wide open.
If it's raining, I want to see the rain droplets in my window.
Yeah, when I'm in bed.
I'm a simple man.
When I'm in bed, I open the blinds, but I want to stand up walking around.
Listen, you think Annika, is that her name? Annika?
Who? The Russian?
Russian lady? Annika? Listen, you think when she got home panicked and saw the news about her sleeping with the mayor that the first thing she thought was like, I gotta shut these blinds. That's what I gotta do.
That's
Actually,
true.
you know what? Maybe she would with the public eye on her. She's like, I probably should close these blinds.
Yeah,
You know what?
exactly. She'd be like, I don't want paparazzi snapping.
I got no
photos
defense of it. I don't know. I don't know either.
So-
Bad movie.
I don't know. What do you think that's like a spoiler? What's something that, do you have any questions that you watched it twice? I only watched it the first time.
Right.
Was there anything still not really clear to you the second time?
There's no, I feel like I definitely got more of it this time. I mean, like I said, if anything, there's just more noticeable, like, just kind of flaws I have with the movie in general. Like, I was like, damn, that second watch was long as shit.
Yeah.
But have you seen this take online that the third act of the movie isn't very good? A lot of people are like, the movie should end after they arrest Riddler. Fuck no.
No,
dude.
that's definitely like the best part.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of the best parts of movies.
I mean, I don't love the National Guard plug when he's like letting the girl go up and he's all covered in mud and it's like, there goes my hero. And it's like, you could be a hero. Join the Air Force.
I didn't think that.
I don't like that part, but
Wait, what, hold on. What made you think that? When she grabbed Batman's arm, that's what made you think that? Or what?
no, it was just like it's just the subtleties of it. You know what I mean? It's just this is a Batman is the superhero movie. And I don't like I get it in theory, but I just don't like the image of Batman being like, some jobs are best left to our other heroes, our frontline heroes.
Yeah.
The National Guard, the Air Force, the Navy. I don't love that. You know what I mean? Like,
That's fair.
And same thing with like some of the cops, the good cops, they're on our side, Batman.
Yeah.
I didn't love that, but
I did see a take online that made me feel a little bit better about that part. Because for me, when I watched that, I was like, this is just propaganda. I did see a take, though, that was more so like framing it like Batman isn't friends with the cops. He just trusts Jim Gordon.
I agree.
Which I can appreciate.
I think it's more just like that part is just weird.
Yeah, that part is. Yeah.
It just is such an unnecessary line. I think it kind of plays into the whole thing of like Falcone's story is just weird. Like,
yeah.
But
There's
I was going to
also-
ask about the sorry, go ahead.
Just one gripe with the whole police thing. So we saw the police station, quite literally hundreds of cops.
Right. Yeah.
So many, right? I do really like that part too when he's fighting them off, and then the chief's like,
Yeah.
I got you assaulting an officer." That guy has a weird voice, by the way. And then
Yeah,
Batman's
yeah.
like, "You got me assaulting 3."
Yeah.
Good line.
More. Yeah, I like that part.
Fuck. Oh yeah. So yeah, Falcone walks out, and then Jeffrey Wright's like, "Not all cops." And then so where are they gonna take him? Are they gonna take him to the police station with all
With
the
some of
Falcone
the
cops?
Yeah, some of the
Or
Falcone cops.
also, Jeffrey Wright or Jim Gordon, I don't know if is super trustworthy to figure out who's corrupt and who's not. Because anytime Batman was like, "Yeah, this guy's corrupt," he's like, "Him?
Pop Joe. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly."
Yeah.
So there's sometimes where I'm like, well, are you sure these 10 cops can be trusted? There might even be, there's at least one here
What do you
who's seeking to betray you, Jim.
Here's a big just gripe I have with the movie overall is it has these really great moments couched in just such like a weird way to get it to that point. Like okay, Jim Gordon's like, "Batman, I gotta punch you in the face and you're gonna grab this key and you're gonna run." And it's like, why is Batman running from the cops? Like, that's
There's too many.
Yeah, but that just feels so weird to watch him just like, move away, throwing papers in the air.
I liked it.
It just feels ridiculous because then it's like cops are just shooting. I'm like, what is going on?
They didn't
What I
shoot.
mean? They were shooting.
shooting?
They were shooting guns, dude. They were shooting guns. I mean, I think so.
Well, here's my defense of that, though. Right, Batman Begins has a very similar scene to that,
I feel like I can think of that.
and it's even more like I think every Batman movie is like about to fall into that like homage trap,
Right.
Because that's like a year one thing. It happens in year one where he's like surrounded by cops, and even in Batman Begins, it's like straight from the comic. He has a literal fucking bat signal on his boot that he uses, and it swarms bats inside the building, and then everybody's terrified of the bats, he runs away. It's really cool.
I mean, I do like the idea that there's just like, he's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. There's nothing else. I can't fight all these people.
Yeah.
But there's just like a bunch of cool ideas introduced that I do feel like are kind of dropped. Like one big thing is like the whole like afraid of the darkness. Like, you know, the villains are all the bad guys at the beginning that are like out doing robberies are just like terrified that Batman is in the shadows.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they don't really explore that anymore.
Yeah, outside of the beginning like intro to Batman when he actually steps out of the dark.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's not really. Well, I guess there's kind of the part with the Batmobile. That's a bit of a surprise.
Which I was also like, I'm not going to question it, but I don't know how the fuck that got there.
I also don't know how he got to the Batmobile.
Yeah, no, that like geography makes zero.
That's him using
sense.
the shadows. There you go.
Okay, sure.
Sure.
He's like, sorry, fuck you, Catwoman. I will go to my Batmobile, which has a passenger seat. You can stick here, I guess.
He's weak. He got shot or something.
Well, he's not that weak, I guess.
He can drive.
See, that's the thing that's funny is it's so urgent that he gets Penguin, and he snuck around impossibly to this Batmobile. Why didn't he just sneak attack Penguin?
Because he got distracted by Catwoman.
Plus, we got to have the car reveal, and the car reveal's fucking awesome anyways. I just feel like that scene should have instead had Catwoman be the solo person there, and then Batman shows up in the Batmobile.
Yeah.
Would have made a lot more sense. Last question I really have. We talked about it, and there's still discourse about it. Does Riddler know that Bruce Wayne is Batman?
Okay, no, he does not.
I don't think he does.
The first time I watched this movie, I was like, oh shit, Riddler knows that Batman's Bruce Wayne. But it's a very, to be honest, maybe it was just because I was so excited to be watching the movie. Maybe it was because we had a loud theater, so I couldn't really fucking tell what was going on. But after watching it again and like watching it for it and like really understanding that scene, he does not know that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
See, the direct evidence that I remember is he's going, Bruce Wayne, and Batman is just like, oh.
Yeah, Batman's like,
gulp. Yeah, and
say it, and he's like, a vampire.
Yeah, and he's like, Bruce Wayne is the only one we didn't get, Bats. And I was like, okay, he doesn't know. But here's the other thing I'm confused about. There's an entire different way to read the situation. Riddler is not crazy to me. I mean, he is crazy, sure. But
yeah, sorry, that's not. I used that term earlier. I don't think that's. He's severely ill. Is more so what I meant.
I guess that's what I'm saying.
He's like psychotic.
Like, but I don't think that he is like that to the extent until he's at Arkham, when he's on camera.
Yeah.
So it almost feels like the Riddler is going, Bruce Wayne, I know you're Bruce Wayne, and he's putting on this performance trying to entrap Batman into it, where he's saying, I know you're Bruce Wayne, but then he's going to say for the cameras, Bruce Wayne's the only one we didn't get, but me and you, Batman, we were working together, remember? Remember, we were working together? And he's like, we were not working together. And he's like, yes, we did. I told you to bring the rat out into the light, and you did. So that part was kind of confusing to me, but then Riddler immediately is like, this isn't going the way I planned. And so I'm like, wait, are you being crazy right now? Or
so is that what you interpreted when you were first watching it? Is that he's being?
That's what I thought was going
cunning?
on. Well, I thought for sure, yes, he knows who Batman is. His apartment says, I know who you really are, and there's a picture of fucking Bruce Wayne as a little boy right next to it, which I was like, okay, I guess he does know that.
Yeah.
But then he was like, Bruce Wayne, Bruce Wayne. I was like, okay, he for sure knows. Then he said he's the only one we didn't get, and I was like,
Wayne.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, he's the only one we didn't get, and I was like, okay, maybe he doesn't know. But then when he was doing the thing where he was like, we were working together, remember? I felt like his like, craziness or whatever was really hammed up at that part. So that's why I thought for sure it was a performance.
Yeah, like he was trying to frame him.
Yeah, but then the way that it continues and he just is locked away in Arkham, I'm like, okay, I am confused because I did not consider this character like this kind of person until just now. So it was really weird to me.
He did. I don't know. I mean, I could see it just because he did have an obsession with Batman.
What you could see what?
Like him, like admiring him and thinking that they're allies or something like that. Like I could see
exactly. I can totally see that too.
Yeah.
I'm just confused by that. So
okay,
I still don't really know. I can see the argument going either way. I do believe he does not know.
I think he's very intelligent, but I don't know if he's that like socially cunning. I think that's the whole thing about this version of Riddler. Like especially when we like see him in person, he's very like wormy and strange and weird. Like he's not. I don't think he's like socially cunning enough to pull that off, or at least even think to pull that off. My interpretation is he doesn't know. He just has like a burning hatred for Bruce Wayne and a deep admiration for Batman.
Okay, that's fair.
I think that's what they were trying to go for. But I can also see that too, because that would be pretty interesting. I mean, I guess the only way we're going to be able to see is in the fucking second movie.
Yeah.
But to me, yeah, when he's talking about Bruce Wayne, it's mainly because he's like, damn, really wanted to fucking kill that guy. well, we didn't get him, Batman. Yeah. But you did help me get the other guys.
What do you think of the him saying the thing about the orphans?
I like that part a lot. The only thing about it is I'm like, well, nothing really done with that information from a character. That happens multiple times in the movie, actually.
Right.
Like even Catwoman's like, fuck Bruce Wayne and fuck Thomas Wayne. He's like, why? And she's like, because they're
It's
rich
like,
assholes.
Bruce Wayne's kind of cool. I don't know.
He's like, hey, you know,
He ain't that so bad. He's not so bad.
He's handsome. He's handsome. Though.
He's got a good chin.
So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of moments in the movie that are like that. They just don't really do anything with that.
Right.
Like I'm like, great. Step 1, acknowledge that. Step 2, do the thing where you say what you want to say with that.
Right.
And so I just feel like the movie doesn't really hit that mark very well. I mean,
Yeah, that's why. Just ultimately, I like what the Riddler. Okay, that's a weird way to say that. I don't like what the Riddler's doing. I get his motive. I think it's a plausible motive for this universe.
Yeah.
Outside of Bruce Wayne being his number one target, because to me, I'm like, even him being like the biggest prop. I'm like, okay, this guy is corrupt. This guy got people killed. This guy has the police working for him for the mob. Like this guy did this, and Bruce Wayne's dad is an asshole, and Bruce Wayne's not a real orphan. Like I'm like,
well, I feel like
okay.
the point that I think could have been made better in that movie is that Bruce Wayne could have actually done something good for the orphans with his billions of dollars.
Instead, the orphanage is abandoned.
The orphanage is abandoned, and he never goes outside.
See, I agree, but it's just hard because I'm like, Bruce Wayne was an orphan at the same time that Riddler was an orphan. And yes, the whole argument of like being a billionaire's heir and living alone in a mansion isn't the same thing as being a poor orphan. I totally agree. And I love when he says that to him.
Yeah.
But I just feel like the anger is still a little like you have to answer for your father. Like, I don't know. I was just like, what? Why?
I could see the anger, just not from like a rational place.
Which I guess makes sense.
Which, not even saying that it's like, well, it's not meant to make sense. Nothing like that. It's just mostly like, I could empathize with the position of being an orphan who was about to be promised things are going to get better for me because Thomas Wayne is looking out for me.
Right.
When suddenly he's killed, and now all I hear about is his poor billionaire son, who also never did anything for orphans after that. Right. And now that fund money is going into fucking Falcone's police's pockets.
Right.
And not towards orphans at all. And so that's kind of the perspective I understood from it.
Like that makes
just
sense.
In general, he felt the general injustice of that.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to talk about before we wrap up also is Jesus, that's loud.
Yeah.
I really like that. I really like this, like how edgy this Batman is. I already talked about that. Like I really that's the stuff I crave from Batman, is that like really moody, brooding sort of character.
Right.
But I was so worried that at the end of this movie we were gonna get like just a fucking evil Batman. Like I think there's even like a bit about like Batman, just like, it'd be funny if Batman was just evil and did shit like that, but this is the only one that genuinely doesn't kill anybody and saves the most people.
Right.
I love that. Like, especially that last moment when like the fucking electrical thing is hanging over the water.
I thought he was gonna kill himself, dude.
I know, but I think that was the
whoa, Batman's about to be dead at the end of this movie.
Also,
Yikes.
several safer ways to do that. But
oh
well. It's still really cool. Like,
totally.
I love that he did not even hesitate. He's like, those people are gonna fucking die unless I do something right now.
Right.
And then he goes in the water and he's just saving people. Like, I love that shit.
Yeah.
Give me more of that.
Doesn't make sense that mayor lady is just swimming around in the water though, because she did get
shot with a rifle
to the gut.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay.
She had toxin.
Honestly, the Arkham walls broke. She probably does have some crocodile muck in her.
That would be a really good setting for Killer Croc. I don't know if we're ready for that though.
Oh man, I don't know if I can handle
Flooded Gotham.
another welcome to my crib, welcome to my place. I hated that. Killer Croc.
No. Oh my god, I can't believe they thought that was a good idea.
That's interesting though.
But let me
Interesting. Okay.
Let me finish out this point though, because the movie ends with Bruce Wayne's Batman being like, I have to be more than vengeance. I can't just be doing this because I'm still mad about my parents being dead and I want to hurt somebody.
Right.
Like, I got to do this for the right reasons. I got to do this for what I wanted my legacy to be and what I want the Wayne legacy to be. And so for me, that either it could be a whole thing in the next movie where they're like, I'm not vengeance, I'm justice.
Yeah, I don't.
That'd be stupid. That'd be
like
stupid.
that.
But that's like the trajectory of his
Right.
character. That is so cool. I was really worried that at the end he's like, I have made an effect, just not the one I thought it was gonna be.
See,
I have to be more ruthless. I need to be worse. I need to get my bat gun.
I feel like it's going to be like it's going to be the trilogy. You know how the Planet of the Apes trilogy now just says Rise, Planet, or let's see.
It's
Rise, War.
Dawn, War. Yeah.
When you get the Batman trilogy set, it's gonna say Vengeance something something.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the arc that he's going on.
You know what else I saw that I was like, this is a cool like art design theory, is that you know how like red everything has been for this movie? I saw an idea about blue being like the next like big color theme, and they were gonna do it with like Mr. Freeze or something.
That's kind of cool. I could see that.
Could be cool. It's just like, damn, we got fucking Joker here. The Arkham or Gotham is flooded. Potentially a Court of Owls thing. Maybe Killer Croc is in the flooded Gotham, and now fucking Mr. Freeze.
Right.
So it's definitely not going to be all of those. It's going to be one of them.
You know what was okay? Last
really
thing,
cool.
I promise, and then we can wrap up.
Okay.
When the last trailer came out, everyone kept calling him Vengeance. And I was really worried that we were going to watch this movie and the Batman was just going to be a term that we understood as the audience. But in this universe, he is called
just
Vengeance.
Called Vengeance? Oh,
and I was
thank
like,
God they didn't do that.
Oh, that is dumb. Thank God they didn't do that.
I'm glad they didn't do that.
She does call him Vengeance once, though, Catwoman.
Yeah, she does.
Which is weird, but...
Well, that's just like his thing. Like, that's what inspired the Riddler incels, is vengeance. That's why he says, I'm vengeance.
Yeah, that's
That was
true.
their interpretation of vengeance from, like, a poor person's perspective, I guess.
That's kind of cool.
I don't know if I agree with those politics.
No, definitely not. Definitely shite. Well, maybe not.
Maybe not
person.
that specifically.
I would say an incel's perspective.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
not
that's
a
better.
poor person's perspective.
That's a much better
an
term.
8chan neckbeard for sure would think that.
Exactly.
Not a poor person.
Exactly.
But yeah, does your score change at all after hearing these little nitpicks and anything? Were you still at a solid 9?
Still a solid 9. I love that movie.
Still at a solid 8.
Dude, the fucking I know we talked about it a little bit before, but the design of him walking, like the sound design,
clink. Yeah.
it's like, it's so intimidating and cool, and the fucking music.
Yeah.
Oh god,
Good
damn.
stuff.
Great stuff. Yeah, I saw a take on Twitter the other day. I kind of want to hear your take on it. And somebody was like, "Damn, these DC hero themes just go the fuck off." They played the Man of Steel theme, and then like the Wonder Woman theme, and then the Batman theme, and I was like, "Those are all pretty good." Wonder Woman's theme is still good.
Yeah.
Even Superman's is like, that's not bad at all. And then
What's
I
the
saw somebody.
Superman one?
I don't remember it off the top of my head, but I remember listening to it. I was like, "That's pretty good." And then somebody replied and be like, these guys have nothing on Wanda's theme." And like everybody replied and was like, "What the fuck is Wanda's theme?" And then somebody replied with it. Yeah.
Is that?
No, it's a different song, but somebody replied to it and was like, "That just sounds like Star Wars music." But anyways.
Yeah, I could not tell you what that was. Wonder Woman is just definitely the most like earwormy.
Yeah.
I mean, Batman's now is pretty good, but
It's so good. It's perfect. But I will say, DC's got some good music. Got some good music down.
I think DC made a smart choice in abandoning the extended universe thing when they did, because the Marvel fatigue, I think, is going to bite them in the ass, because I don't think Marvel's letting that dead horse go anytime soon.
Yeah, because honestly, at this point, like, dude, corner the market on standalone movies.
100%.
Standalone superhero movies? God damn, I'd love some of those.
But maybe I shouldn't excuse DC too much. That Flashpoint movie is still coming out.
Yeah, I'm still excited for Flashpoint.
I don't really fucking care. I care that you're excited. I'm just saying I don't care.
Fuck, Isaac.
You're excited. I don't fucking care, Jake. Don't say it again. No, I do
I mean,
care.
I'm not like over
don't.
the fucking moon about it. Like, I'm like on the same level of excitement for that as I am for Doctor Strange, which is like mid.
Yeah, like a 6 out of 10
Yeah,
excitement.
I'm like, Michael Keaton, cool.
Oh,
That's it.
Okay, this isn't a Monolith. I mean, this isn't a Monolith Marvel cast. I know that, but I do have to tell you this. What is it?
Oh,
no,
never
let me tell. I'll tell you.
Yeah, tell me.
Remember when the cast list got leaked on that one website because the movie was going to premiere for Spider-Man No Way Home?
For Doctor Strange? The cast list for No Way Home?
Right, and it said Toby and Andrew, and everyone was like, "Oh fuck!" And then that place deleted it, and they were like, "Well, we don't know if that's. I mean, that website said that, sure.
Yeah.
But we don't know, right?
Yeah.
They did it again with Doctor Strange.
Who's on it?
Tom Cruise.
Oh.
And remember, I sent you a fucking graphic from Facebook that said that he's alternate universe Tony Stark.
Yeah, he's Dimension 23105 Tony Stark.
How do you feel about that?
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't care still.
You
But
don't care?
it is interesting. It is interesting.
I just like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I guess so,
So
too.
I-
I just more so mean like, it's my excitement for Madness. What is it called?
Multiverse of Madness.
Still a 6 out of 10. But
Yeah, no, I'm still mid excitement for it, but like my whole thing is I'm like, Sam Raimi directed, potentially like
that's true. That's 100%
Professor Xavier could potentially be there. That's like the whole thing everybody's saying.
Ash.
Who?
Ash.
What? Bruce Campbell?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Why'd you call him Ash?
Because his name in Evil Dead.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying Evil Dead Ash will be in Multiverse of Madness.
I thought you were referencing Bruce Campbell as Ash. I was like, Bruce Campbell?
I am saying Bruce Campbell as Ash, but I'm saying the character
The character Ash
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the Evil Dead in Multiverse of Madness. Right. Oh. That stinks.
That's the Looney Tunes multiverse at that point.
I mean, that stuff's exciting and fun or whatever, but yeah, I mean, really, No Way Home is all I needed.
Batman #1 movie of the year so far?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Me too. I think so too.
It's really good. Like it a lot.
Good stuff. I think that's it for us, though. I don't know if you'd really call that a review. I would.
It's a spoiler cast.
It's a spoiler cast. That's
all
a better
about
way
the
to put it.
spoilers.
It's a spoiler, folks. It's just our thoughts on the movie. We didn't get to get out last time because we couldn't talk spoilers because we.
And I've been pent up.
Yeah, he had to get some podcast all over the table because he was holding it in.
Hey, I've been saving it all for you.
And for you at home, and for the folks at home. Thank you for listening to this bonus episode #1. I'm Isaac. You can follow me on Letterboxd and Twitter and everything at Isaac Ramen. Jake, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter or Letterboxd at _moonscented.
You verified that this time?
No.
Close enough.
Yeah, close
You can also follow the podcast on any of our main pages at Monolith Pod, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Follow us on our Letterboxd HQ page, also Monolith Pod on there. As well as, folks, if you liked this one, and there's more to come, go ahead and sign up for our Patreon, which is in the link for the episode. It's on... You look at any of our places, you're going to find the Patreon link. Sign up for more of these bonus episodes. I think on our second tier is where that's unlocked. And the more topics to come, not just spoiler casts for the bonus episodes.
But since you didn't sign up for Patreon, let me tell you about Harry's Razors.
Exactly. Unless you want to have to sit through that. But you know what?
I love a good clean shave.
Yeah, I don't mind sitting through an ad read because of my purple chair cushion. It's good stuff. Now we're just doing actual free
cushion.
Now we're just doing free ad work.
It's cushion for the pushing.
It's cushion for the podding. Now we're doing free ad reads. Now we have to end it like this. Harry's razors give you razor burn.
Oh, shit.
Wait, is that libel?
No, libel's yes.
Harry's razors.
No, libel is printed.
Okay. Harry's razors, I'd never buy them. And purple.
That's just slander.
It's too expensive. But it's not an ad read. They're not getting free ads out of me.
Slander
the only
and libel
company
are the
getting
same
free
thing. One
ad
is
time.
spoken and one is written.
The only
spoken
company.
libel.
The only company getting free ad reads out of me is Letterboxd.
Right.
And that's because they kind of pay.
And Liquid Death, sparkling water straight from the Alps. Heavy cans.
Thank you for listening.
Speaking of heavy cans.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Thank you for listening to the Monolith Filmcast, folks. We're back. Next week, we'll be back with our episode 72 or something like that of the Monolith Filmcast. But until then, good night and good morrow. I don't think that's